about 9 a.m. here. Just woke up, took a shower. Gonna go show you guys a trade that I took this week on NU. Just look at the view out here first. Wow. So sunny out here in Florida. Beautiful morning. Crazy view. So yeah, we're gonna go out over the trade I took last week. It hit full take profit. It was a beautiful trade. I'm gonna show you guys what made me take that entry and basically why the trade was taken and how we saw the setup and profited from it. Let's get into it. Hey guys, what's up? So I'm just gonna be showing you guys today a trade that I took this week on NZDUSD. We had some nice sells here on NZDUSD that we called in the chat also in our private Discord. We've been calling a lot of setups and they've been doing great, most of them. It's been a good few months here. More liquidity is coming into the market, so here you can see we called the NZDUSD sells. So I'm just going to show you guys what happened that made us take this trade. So we're going to start from the higher time frames here. We're going to do kind of a top-down analysis on this pair and dig into why or what made us take this trade. So if we start here on the weekly, you can see obviously it's super bearish. Over here in 2022 it made a big push up, and ever since then we've just been coming down. So if I look onto the higher time frames, like on the weekly, this could just be a correction of this weekly, and it could be playing in these levels and then maybe go up. But for now, I'm not gonna look at it that way and not take sells, because we've entered on the weekly time frame, we've entered in a discounted zone. I won't go that way. I'm an intraday trader, so I'm gonna stick to what I see, what's going on a daily basis basically. So when I go into the weekly here, you see we're trading below all three MAs. So on that time frame I'm bearish here. You can see it's breaking a heavy weekly support also. So generally when price reaches this kind of zone, you can expect to see some kind of rejection, or even when it takes out these lows, people sellers are taking profits, so you can expect to see some kind of rejection. So as we did break this low here, I'm just going to place a line so that's more clear. So this was the lowest low that we had right over here. So you can see when I go into the daily, for sure there was some kind of reaction. There you go. So as soon as we took out the lows over here, obviously we took liquidity out over here, and sellers are taking profits. So obviously there was bound to be a huge rejection, or a correction. So we broke this low over here, and on the weekly I'm bearish. On the daily, it's trading below my 3 MAs also, and it's super bearish. The last high over here, so bearish on that time frame also. You go down to the H4, you're bearish. H1, you're bearish. It's kind of starting to trade a bit above the H1 MA, but this is a pretty aggressive time frame, and I was expecting some kind of rejection here also after taking out these lows over here on the weekly. So I'm gonna go to my H4 time frame and tell you guys what I saw to basically take this trade. So NZDUSD was making nice lows. I'm gonna take my highlighter here, my brush should be here, yeah. So I'm gonna start from here. We had a high. What is that? I'm gonna take this instead. We had a low here, a high here, a low here, a high here. So it's just making higher highs, higher lows, and same thing over here. We had a high over here, and we had a low over here. This right here was another trade that I took that hit stop, because I was just following the trend. The trend is your friend until it's not. So I had done the same thing over here. I believe it was early November. You see this high over here and this low over here. So I'd sold somewhere on the pullback over here, expecting that it would still continue down, but you see over here I kind of got manipulated, and that happens. But what can you do about it? You have to follow the trend until it's your friend. So you see, if you were to take all these sells over here, it hit TP, pulled back over here, hit TP, pulled back over here, hit TP. So if you lost one out of 6, 7, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Manipulations like this are gonna happen, and you can't really do anything about it. So this was one trade that happened to me a few weeks ago. Broke the high over here. I got stopped out, but as soon as it faked out over here, I knew that it was a fake out, and we're still going downside. So gonna let that one be, and gonna focus on this one. So this was the new high and the new low that had happened after it took out the weekly lows. So we took the lows out. I had placed my fib like I always do, and for sure I'm always looking for sells above the 50. Like I explained in one of my previous videos, I always look for sells above the 50, because why would I be selling below the 50, except if, you know, the conditions are super bearish, kind of like, you know, when gold is you know, something like this. If I'm gonna take my tool over here, you know, you can see over here it's so bearish, like it's not retracing. So but in this case, you see, if I went on my H1, for one, first of all, it just took out a very big low, and you know, I expect that money's gonna come out of the market a bit, so it's due to retrace. So I'm not gonna go down here and, you know, start selling at the 32. It's not smart of me. So I'm here on the H4, I'm waiting for it to retrace above, and let's see what happens here. So just gonna play. It made another low, just gonna extend my fib a bit. There you go. We've come up above the discounted zone, the premium zone, sorry, because we're taking a sell, right? So we've reached a premium zone, which is above the 50, where sellers are looking to enter the market, trying to get the best position possible. So I have my MA over here at the 78. If I go on to my daily time frame, MAs are pretty far. Go on to the H1. So this kind of would be the best price that I have over here. Let me see if there's any other zones also. So what kind of zones do I have? I have this zone over here, which can be kind of a break and retest. It starts from the 70. So I'm not going to sell at the 61 here, you know, like I don't have anything at the 61 here. My zones start mostly at the 70, maybe a bit below the 70. And if you check on the daily also, it's kind of like a break and retest here. So I have some confluences here. I have my MA at the 78, which is the lowest MA that I have. So I believe I had placed the sell limit over here. I'm going to post a screenshot of the trade after. And I had my stop loss over here, and you know, I target a 1 to 3. I like to take 1 to 3. So I set it over here, and let's just see what happens. So, you know, it's ranging. So MA came down to the 70 here. So now it's moved down to the 70, and I'm gonna adjust my limit over here, because why would I place it on the 78? No, the zone starts over here, plus my MA's drop, so I wouldn't want the MA to leak. You know, it's possible that it might leak a bit, but I trust that my MA will, you know, it's a strong level of confluence. The trend is bearish. I have my MA over here, I have the fib over here, I have a zone over here, so I already have 3 confluences right there. So let's see what happens. So I'm activated I'm in the trade. We have a strong reaction over here, strong engulfing H4 candle. Very strong reaction. Have we reached the 1 to 2 yet? I have to extend my TP because I modified the entry. So my take profit is before the 0.27, which is something I like. It's before the 27 TP level, which I'm gonna go and place over here. So we've had a strong reaction. Let's just keep playing, see what happens. Very strong. Has the daily formed a resistance? Yes, the daily's formed a resistance. So you guys know what happens when the daily forms a resistance and it breaks the low after, you know, there's higher chances that it's gonna come and at least fill this low over here or go deeper. So that was great. I think at this point, as soon as it broke the low on the daily, I put my stops to break even, so I made this trade risk free. As soon as it broke this daily low over here, I'm gonna place my horizontal ray here. So you guys can check out my previous video also, where, you know, I spoke about the daily time frame and how crucial it is when you're trading intraday. You know, when you're an intraday trader, your best odds of succeeding is kind of trying to guess how the next daily candle is going to look like. So all you have to do is focus on one candle and try to think what's gonna happen. What is the next daily candle gonna give? Then you can dig into the lower time frames and try to find the best entry possible. So, but if you know the direction is right, then that's the most important part. So I was in sells, now I was risk free. So we're gonna keep going over here. You know, it's messing around a bit, but it's in profit. And just gonna skip here. And I got out a bit earlier over here because my entry was a little higher. So I had already achieved my 1 to 3, but you can see it's the weekend now, and you know, technically I should still be in this trade because you know, it didn't hit my full TP yet. I expect that it will next week, but I got out a little earlier here. As soon as it broke you know, the support over here, I got out because I thought that, you know, it's breaking a weekly low over here, and I thought that obviously there's bound to be some kind of rejection here. So I took profit somewhere over here. My entry was great. I had an entry a little higher than the 70 because it leaked when basically when it was coming up, it leaked, so I'd achieved my 1 to 3 here somewhere, so I took profits. But just explaining you guys how I took this trade and what went into taking this trade. Your confluences always have to be on your side. On every time frame, the confluences were on my side. If you go on the weekly, go on the daily, go on the H4, everything is bearish. So why should I take buys, you know? Why should I take buys? It's better if I just follow the trend, and you know, the trend is your best friend. So that's how I took the trade. I'm gonna be showing you guys a screenshot of the trade. Also, I think I already showed you guys, but it was called in the Discord channel here, along with many other setups. So you guys can go ahead and look at the link, or Discord link, which is going to be in the bio also. If you guys want, you can join it. It's a free channel, and we call all our setups, we call it in that channel. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask down below or send me a message on Twitter.